Here are 12 reasons why I absolutely love living in Sweden. First up, the welfare system. This is definitely something to brag about. I personally think Sweden has one of the most solid social welfare systems in the world. Whether you're out of work, short on cash, or raising a family, you will still have access to healthcare, education, and much more. I personally enjoyed the Swedish welfare system. When I arrived and had zero income, I still could go to doctor's visit, also received child support, which we'll talk about later, and I even got maternity leave allowance when I had my youngest. I actually thought it was a mistake when I received a letter from the government informing me that I have a right to maternity leave. I was like, who? Me? Maternity leave? That's Sweden for you. And how is Sweden able to do this, you may wonder? It's from the taxpayers' money. That's why the taxes in Sweden are pretty high. For me, I don't mind paying high taxes because I see where the taxes are going. Sadly, some few people misuse this system. They don't want to work or pay taxes. They just want to live through the social welfare and thus causing a burden to the tax system. I think it's okay to do this as it was designed for those periods in time when you don't have an income or when you are in between jobs. Other than that, I think we should all be good citizens and pay our taxes because it's for our benefit. And speaking of taxes, let's talk about tax refunds. Every year around March, if you live in Sweden, you will receive a tax declaration form, and it can also be done digitally, which is pretty cool. And guess what? If the government owes you anything, then you get back the tax refund straight into your bank account. This has always been the highlight of my tax declaration exercise, the best adulting moment in Sweden. I have worked for many years in my native country and never in my life have I ever gotten a tax refund. Next, let's move on to healthcare. Back to where I am from, when negotiating for a job offer, I always had to make sure I have health insurance cover for myself and my immediate family. But since I moved to Sweden, I no longer have to worry about that. Healthcare is completely free for kids, including dental care. And for us adults, it's super affordable. A doctor's visit is just around 200 Swedish krona, which is about 20 US dollar. Plus, if you hit a certain spending cap, the rest of the healthcare for the year is free. It's like a healthcare VIP card. And for women, maternity care is completely free. Isn't that amazing? Sweden's healthcare system definitely sets the bar high. Now on to education. And here's where Sweden truly shines. In my native country, I constantly stressed on saving for my child education so he can go to the best private schools. In contrary, here in Sweden, your child can attend any school, private or government owned, and it will be completely free. The only time you need to pay is when your child is in daycare. And if you don't have any income, your child will still go to daycare in minimum hours per week. Higher education is also completely free of charge. I, of course, took this opportunity and went back to school to do my master's education at Lund University. Once I had a Swedish education in my CV, it tremendously opened doors for job opportunities in Sweden. On top of formal education, Sweden really values informal education. I like the fact that here in Sweden, not everyone needs to go to a university to be a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer to be considered a successful member of the society. They have figured it out that everyone is not necessarily interested in taking that path. Hence, there are plenty of community colleges that you can join straight after secondary level education. And these are called yrkesskola. This is where you can study for a short time, 2 years, maybe up to 3 years, mostly practical education. And after that, you get a job straight away. You can take different educational training from administration, electrician to accounting. There is a course for everyone. They are perfect if you're looking to switch careers or pick up a new skill. I even tried a cook and Swedish combo when I just moved here, which I managed the Swedish course, but I didn't complete the cooking part. However, the ones who continued are most of them now working as pastry chefs or cooks, and some have even opened their own businesses. Now let's talk nature, because Sweden has lots of it and it's stunning. I love how the cities in Sweden are designed so that nature blends in harmony with urban life. No matter where you are, even in big cities like Stockholm or Malmö, you will always be close to forests, lakes, and endless hiking trails. I really love this. Even just 2 minutes away from where I live, there is a little forest with a pond, and I pass this place every day when I need to go to the corner store. It's so calming and beautiful to hear birds singing every morning. It's pure zen. And just 15 minutes away, there is a walking trail with a stream of water and ponds. It's perfect for a relaxing walk after the end of the day. And speaking of nature, let's dive into the 4 seasons, shall we? Okay, maybe this isn't super exciting if you have always lived somewhere with all the 4 seasons. But for me, I grew up in a place where it's summer all year long, and the days are pretty much predictable. The sun will rise at 6 a.m. and go down at 6 p.m. every single day. No surprises. So I only knew about seasons from books and movies. But now I get to experience all of them. The whole 4 seasons. Maybe some seasons longer than others, since Sweden is closer to the northern hemisphere. I think every season is so special. In autumn, for example, the trees will be filled with colorful leaves in different shades of yellows, oranges, and reds. This is probably my favorite season. Then winter comes, and suddenly everyone has a gloomy face, and you hardly see your neighbors. It's cold, windy, and completely quiet. But then one day, boom, it snows. And just like that, the world turns magical. Everyone goes out in their polka and plays with snow. The joy is restored again, even for a short while, until the snow starts to melt and it's back to darkness and gloomy faces of the passerbys. Now, after the long winters, Sweden's springs are like a dream. The cherry blossoms, tulips, and wisteria bloom all around, and suddenly the entire country bursts into color. It's almost enough to make you forget the dark winter days. The ground is also decorated with these little colorful flowers. The days become a little warmer, lighter, and shorter every day. And then one day, just like that, it's 25 degrees. It's summer. We grill, we go to the beach, and soak on the real sun. And everyone you meet is smiling at you again. Ah, the joys of the seasons. I truly enjoy that. Next up is the Swedish food. I think Swedish food is so underrated. Have you ever tried potatisgratäng or their famous cinnamon rolls, Kanelbullar? I especially love husmanskost, the Swedish comfort food. It's just so hearty and homey, and some of the food like kallops remind me of home. I actually made a full video on Swedish food. It's linked up in the description, or I would link it up there. While we're on the topic of food, let's take a moment to appreciate Sweden's tap water. I think Swedish tap water deserves an award. It's not only drinkable, but it tastes really good. It's ridiculously clean, fresh, and delicious. I don't know anyone that buys bottled water here, unless it's those fancy sparkling water like Ramlösa. And it's quite normal in restaurants to request for tap water. It's also kind of hard to buy still bottled water sometimes in restaurants or in the streets because nobody buys it. You will get tap water for free of charge if you ask for it. Now, one of my absolute favorite perks, 1 year maternity leave. Yep, you heard that right. Parents can decide to split it, or one parent can take the full year, and it's all paid. It's such a game changer for families. I feel so lucky to have experienced that with my little ones. Now, let's not forget how family-friendly Sweden is. Sweden is a perfect country to live if you're raising a family. There are plenty of playgrounds all around the neighborhoods. It's actually a law that every neighborhood or a block of apartments or houses to have a common playground. And to help with the cost of raising children, the government provides a monthly allowance per child for families with kids. This is called barnbidrag. To me, this always comes in handy as my children outgrows their clothes like in 5 minutes. And outdoor clothes are not cheap here. Other than that, this allowance also helped me when I moved to Sweden with zero income. I at least had a little cash every month for myself. There is also a lot of free activities for kids when they are on vacation. My kids have attended different classes over the years, from cooking to coding or dancing, and they loved it very much. And finally, travel enthusiasts, you will love this. I don't think a lot of people know that Sweden is actually part of the Schengen zone, which means easy and affordable travel around Europe. Do you want to hop on a ferry to Finland? Done. A cheap flight to Paris? No problem. Or how about taking a train? Since moving here, I've traveled all around Europe. Recently, I went to London with my son and I even made a video about it. Check it out if you haven't already. So there you have it. 12 reasons why I genuinely love living in Sweden. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and also check out some of my other videos displayed just right next to me. And if you've reached this far and have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. It will really help my channel to grow. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Hej då!